Hey, what's going on, you guys? What's going on? Happy Sunday. We in it. We had a really good week last week, and so we're gonna try to capitalize on the different opportunities that we see this week. So I'm looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to the analysis. We got some big moves going on, and so I'm ready to get into it. We're gonna wait for about a good three or four more minutes for some more people to get on, and then we're gonna get into it. And also, you guys, if there's any pairs that you guys like to see in the chat, please put them in, and we'll be happy to get to them. Another thing that we're going to talk about as well is Silicon Valley Bank. It actually collapsed this week, which caused some big moves within the market. The US dollar, it actually the DXY actually dropped, I believe, which caused a lot of the USD pairs that we trade to go up. So yeah, it was definitely some action that went on last week. But the beauty with Forex is the unfortunate thing is, even when there's collapses with banks, even though there's things to go on in the world, you can still capitalize off those events and make money in the market. When I first started, in Forex, started, with Pips Academy, there used to be a lot of people that used to ask the question, when the market bad, how can you make money? Well, in Forex, you make money whether the market go up or down, buy or sell. It's nothing like the regular stock market. So you can do so much more, in my opinion, when it comes to Forex and capitalizing on the different moves or events that happen in the world. You just got to be in position to catch it. So you guys, we're going to do one more minute and we're going to go ahead and get started. Excuse me. Like I said, you guys, we're gonna definitely capitalize on some opportunity this week, and so yeah, I'm excited. So without further ado, we're not gonna delay anything. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we always start off with a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this day, Lord. We want to thank you for life, health, and strength. We pray that everybody within this call, and it's the sound of my voice, I pray that they are okay, that their families are great, healthy, and safe. And Lord, that I pray that this particular resource or this channel continue to be a tool for those and continue to add value to those who engage in it. Lord, I pray that, whoever engage within this channel, something can be said or taught that can help somebody to become financially free. And Lord, we want to be mindful to always give you the praise. We love you, we honor you, and we love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. All right, so starting off, looking at Forex Factory, let's go ahead and see what we got going on. So as you can see, for today and tomorrow, nothing really is popping off that kind of stands out. And we have a bank holiday tomorrow for JPY, so JPY might be really slow tomorrow. And so kind of ending off in the Asian session, we have AUD, monetary policy. So we might see some movement on the Aussie dollar tomorrow night during the Asian session. Then going into Tuesday, we have CAD pairs that are really popping off. We got CPI that's going to be happening with the CAD on Tuesday morning during our New York session. Okay, and then we also have the Euro. We have President Lagarde speaking, so we definitely might see some movements on the Euro as well. USD, we have home sales around 9 a.m. So we might see a little something around that time as well. Okay. Going into Wednesday for our London session, we have the GBP CPI on that around 2 a.m. Hey, what's going on, Ish? How you doing, man? So we have GBP pairs is going to be popping off during London session. So we should see some movement for those who are trading any pound pairs. 345, we have Euro. We have President Lagarde speaking again on Wednesday. So that's twice, that's kind of back to back. Let's see. Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday. So yeah, he's speaking twice. So Euro definitely should see some movement between Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's just be mindful of that. So going into Wednesday, we got FOMC 1 o'clock Central Time for the US dollar. So for those who don't know, whenever we have FOMC, you can expect some huge movements on the US dollar. For all of those pairs that are against the US dollar, you definitely can see some big moves. Okay. On Thursday, we have the chef that's going to be popping off. We got monetary policy on the chef for London session, so be mindful of that. Then New York session, we got monetary policy for the pound. So this week, this is a monetary policy week. I mean, we got monetary policy for pretty much almost every pair almost when you kind of look at it. Okay. Thursday, we got unemployment claims for the US dollar. So Thursday is going to be a pretty big day. Thursday night, we got JPY, National Core CPI. Going into Friday, we got the Euro, during our London session, 3:15 and 3:30, 4 o'clock as well. And then ending it off, for our London session, we got the pound that's going to be popping off with PMI. And then we got the CAD and USD pairs on this particular Friday. Okay, so we're expecting a big week this week in the markets. All right. Also, another thing I want to mention to you guys is we had a collapse of a bank last week. We had Silicon Valley Bank to collapse last week. And from some of the things that I've been looking at or reading, it came from, this particular bank not managing their funds, well, from all of the things or events that's been going on, this particular bank hasn't been managing their funds correctly. And so a lot of the investors that's been within this bank having their funds there, they snatched their funds, and so many people snatched their funds that this bank, couldn't recover from it. So they end up collapsing. And so with that regard, we had some big movements within the market. So let's just go look at the DXY for a second. So if we look at this, this happened. Well, let me see. When did that actually happen? This happened. Okay, this particular article is not telling us the actual day, but it was last week. So if we look at last week, though, let's throw this indicator on here to kind of give us our days of the week. So if we kind of ice this out from Monday until, Friday when the market's kind of closed or whatever, just look at the DXY, and then we kind of remove this indicator. I believe in this day here, I believe it was Wednesday, is when we got the news that Silicon Valley kind of collapsed, and we had a massive push to the upside on the DXY. So that was one of the things that we saw or kind of encountered. But one of the things I always like to say is, whether there's big events, bad or good within the market, you know, in Forex, you can capitalize either way. So it's no biggie. Also, if you guys have any pairs you want to see, please put them in the chat and I'll get to those first. But right now I don't see any. So we're going to go ahead and just go down our list. We're going to go ahead and start with the pound. GBP versus USD. All right, let's start with the daily time frame. And so most of these markups that you guys will see are from last week, from our markups from last week. And as you can see, we had a breaker structure on the daily and price. We wanted to see price kind of pull back within our daily zone. However, it didn't do that. It didn't quite get back that far. So if we drop to the 4 hour and we look at this, we can see on our 4 hour time frame, we were bearish. You can see this thing staircasing down. Hold on, you guys. Let me actually make this a little bigger. Hold on. Let's see. Let's go to full screen. All right. I hope that's a little bit better for you guys. Put my little camera up in there. That's cool. All right. So as you guys can see, we were pretty much staircasing down on this particular pair. And we got a break of structure on the 4 hour in this area here. It was coming back and then decided to come up and retest. So for me, I still think price will come down a little bit further, and it couldn't. It could go ahead and break up through it. But one of the things I've been doing is looking at the 8 hour for some time now. And so we might actually push a little higher. The reason why I say that is on the 8 hour, we have a bullish, bearish, bullish continuation pattern right here. And so bullish, bearish, bullish. If anybody saw the video that I put out this week on the breakdown that we did with EU, the bullish, bearish, bullish is a really, really popular pattern that, and one of my favorites to actually trade. And so if you're looking at this from here, this is our 8 hour order block that we can kind of, you know, base this upon or trade this against. So this is an H8, bullish, bearish, bullish. And so one of the things that I would like to see is for price dip back into this order block here, or this demand zone, and then continue, because this is a continuation pattern. And so one of the things that we can see is this candle here close higher than this middle candle here, which allowed us to get this bullish, bearish, bullish. So I would like to see a retest and then price kind of shoot to the upside. So if we look at the 4 hour on this particular pair, we can see a couple of influences as well. Confluences, I'm sorry. One thing is we have an imbalance right in this area here. And so like I said, I would like to see price dip back into this area here. Let's drop it to a higher time frame and see if we see any, a lower time frame and see if we see anything as well. So on a 15 minute, you can see that we're pretty much staircasing up. We got higher high, higher low, higher high. And so we possibly are coming down to tap into this and maybe continue a little bit higher, okay? So one of the things I want to do is possibly put an alert here. So when price is approaching this, GU approaching POI, because that's my POI right now. Right now, my bias is bullish because all things are indicating that it wants to continue to go up. We're bullish on the 15, we're bullish on the 1 hour, 4 hour. We're getting a little bit of rejection in this area. And so like I said, I want to see it tap into this and then continue, because on the 8 hour, we have this bullish, bearish, bullish pattern. That's a continuation. And as you can see, it's followed by another one. Bullish, bearish, bullish, go up, bullish, bearish, bullish. So I want to see it push a little bit higher, but let's see if there's anything significant that we can look for. So possibly I would like to see price come all the way up to this area here. We don't know for sure that it will get up that high. This here is an 8 hour supply in this area, but let's see if we drop to the 4 hour. Let's see what we can see. 4 hour has already been mitigated, but let's look at the daily. Okay, so pretty much 8 hour is what we can almost see on that particular area there. But as far as GU, that's pretty much what I'm looking for now. One other thing, if GU breaks this area here, I'll put an alert down here, then we'll look for price to continue its downward movement towards that daily golden zone. So for right now, let's go ahead and put that on here. Let's say GU 15-minute BOS. Okay. And let's make sure that we indicate these. We have these in our Discord chat. That way everybody can kind of have these alerts together. Okay. Make sure we got that. All right, perfect. And let's do the same for this one as well. No, not BOS. Let's see. Let's copy this. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much what we see on GU. GU is we just pretty much gonna wait for the market to kind of feed us what it wants to give us. And like I said, we're coming up into some rejections up in this area. So I would like to see price kind of reject, possibly come down here, and we possibly can capitalize off of that move. Or if it doesn't, like I said, on the 8 hour, we have that bullish, bearish, bullish. More than likely, I'll be looking for a tap into this demand zone here and then shoot to the upside, okay? Another thing, with EU, we can see we kind of sort of have some of the same elements going on. If we go to the daily, we can pretty much see some of the same elements. We had a 4 hour BOS in this area here. I wanted to see a retest up in this golden zone. It didn't quite make it up to that area as of yet, but it's heading up there. It's heading up there. If we go to the 4 hour, we can see from the 4 hour time frame, we had price staircasing down. From there, we had a liquidity sweep here where price came down, took out this liquidity in this area before it kind of continued to the upside. So we had a break of structure and price is starting to staircase back up to the upside. If we go to the 8 hour, one of the things that we can notice on here as well is we have some of the same patterns: bullish, bearish, bullish, continuation, bullish, bearish, bullish, and I want to see a continuation. I want to see on a smaller time frame we can possibly tap into this level of demand here. And so we want to notate this. This is a H8, bullish, bearish, bullish. Okay. And so that's one of the things I want to see. I want to see price tap into this because ultimately I want to see price come up to this area here and tap into this level of supply. Let's see if this is a supply on a smaller time frame. Let's go to the 4 hour. Oh yeah. So we'll just indicate this as a 4 hour demand. Oh, I'm sorry, supply. So that's what I want to see. I want to see price ultimately get up to this area and hopefully get up to this golden zone to where it can continue its descent going down. Okay. Because if we look at the daily, actually the daily is bullish. Yeah, the daily is bullish. We higher high, higher low, higher high, possible higher low. But like I said, I want to see price get down to this area here and then shoot up. So that's some of the things that we're looking for EU. Let's drop it down to a smaller time frame and see what we have. We can see higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, let's go to the 15-minute. And that's pretty much what we're looking for. So I want to put an alert right up in this area here. EU approaching POI. Okay. I don't know. Okay. And so if we can get a tap into this area, then show us a break of structure on a smaller time frame, I think we'll be okay to kind of ride this up. Because right now my bias is still bullish until it breaks this area down here. Okay, and then we'll get to that point when we get there. But you know what? I'll still put an alert here though, just in case we get a break of structure. EU 15-minute break of structure. Okay, so that's what we're looking at as far as EU. Okay, looking for that break of structure here. Well, I'm not looking for that break of structure, but I have a alert here just in case that happens. Okay, EU, GU pretty much giving the same patterns. We can possibly capitalize off of both. One thing that I want to see though, if we drop it to a smaller time frame, I want to see if we have no, because I was hoping or wondering if we had some sort of Wyckoff in this area, but I don't see 3 drives up. I only see 2. If I had 3 drives up and 2 drives down, then that'd be more indicative to me for a Wyckoff trade. But yeah, so yeah, we don't have what I'm looking for, so never mind. Drop to a 2 minute. Yeah, we don't have what I'm looking for, so we're not gonna worry about Wyckoff for this particular area here. Okay, so now let's go over to USD CAD. Let's see what USD CAD is feeding us, or what story is it telling us? Okay, so with USD CAD, one of the things that we noticed from our markups from last week, we had a break of structure on a daily. Price came around, tapped into this area here, all the way up in this area, and hopefully we want to see price kind of trickle down to the downside. Okay, that's what we want to see. So if we go to the, let's look at the 8 hours. We've been looking at the 8 hour on everything else. Let's see what we can see on the 8 hour over here. Okay, nothing really significant on the 8 hour that I can tell. So let's go ahead and drop to the 4 hour. Okay, one thing that we have on the 4 hour is we can see price broke structure on a smaller time frame, which was a 1 hour, and then we got a retest back into this supply right up in this area here. So we can see that we had a supply tap right here on the 4 hour, and price decided to drop to the downside. If we drop to the 1 hour, let's check and see. Okay, let's drop to the 15 minute because we can't really see price action like we want to. So let's see. On this 15 minute time frame, we're still in essence kind of bullish. We haven't really broke structure yet on the 15 to go to the downside, but we dipped into this 4 hour. So let's drop to the 5 minute to see what we can see. Okay, on the 5 minute, we have some confluences here. So on the 5 minute, we can see price start trickling up. Here we have break of structure in this area here on the 5 minute time frame. Okay, move this up. Okay, yeah, right here we had a 5 minute break of structure. Okay, and then from there, let's see what price is doing. We can see, okay, right here, price kind of tapped all the way up into this area here. But one of the things I would like to see is for price to come all the way back into this area here, because this has not been mitigated. This area has not been mitigated here. Okay, so this is a 5 minute. No, I'm sorry, 15 minute supply. So I want to see a tap up into this area here. So let me go ahead and pull, we're going to pull this down here. So if price is approaching this area, we'll know. USD CAD approaching POI. That's how we'll do that. Because I'll be more inclined to take the sell if it comes up to this area here, because like I said, it hasn't been mitigated yet. It's just sitting there. Because what some mistakes that some traders or some people can take is just say, all right, I'm gonna take the sell here, and then it's coming down, and then we get some news. Because think about it, we have USD CAD news that's popping off on Tuesday, and so one of the things that happens when you have moves like this is what the news will target. It'll shoot all the way up to this, bang, and then it'll shoot down to the downside and taking out all of this liquidity over in this area where you think that you've already in a nice and safe sell, but you know, it'll shoot up and just kind of blast you out. So those are some of the things we got to be mindful of as well. Okay, so I definitely want to put an alert here, but one of the things I want to see though is if this area here has, you know, some sort of Wyckoff involved with it. So let's check it out, because if it does, then we probably can capitalize off of that move as well. So what we're looking for is 3 drives up, 2 drives down. So for right now, let me bar replay this right quick. And let's look at the 3-minute. And I'm not necessarily seeing it. Let's go to the 1 minute. Yeah, I'm not necessarily seeing any moves that I'm kind of looking for. 1, 2, 3. So we have almost like a 3 drives up, but we don't have 2 drives down. So like I said, this is not really what I'm looking for. It's not giving me the confirmations. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that alone as far as a Wyckoff trade. But like I said, I'm definitely looking for price to come up and fill that supply. Where is it? That 15-minute supply right here. I'll definitely be looking for that with USD CAD. So Tuesday would definitely be a Canadian day for me to look for entries and possible confluences for CAD. All right, now let's look at gold. Gold for me, gold was really profitable for me last week, and so I know we had one of our members in our Discord mentioned that he tried to catch a sale but didn't quite catch it, and he got blasted out on that a little bit. So one of the things with gold, because it's been so bullish, is we got to make sure that we're indicating our structure, because structure is king. Like I say, structure is definitely king, and we have to make sure that we're trading with the trend. And if you're counter trend trading, you got to make sure that you're timing it correctly. So right now, before we look for any sales, to be honest with you, to break, we're looking for this chance to break down here. Now there might be some opportunities for some counter trend trades, but right now you see we bullish. We're actually creeping up on the 2,000 mark, and price closed with the 1 hour bullish, bearish, bullish. So for me, I'm still looking for buys. As much as I would like to catch a sale all the way at the tip top peak or something, right now I'm looking for all buys right now. So right now I'm gonna utilize, you know, we strategize and we capitalize on what we see. All right, so right now let's go ahead and utilize this for a 1 hour. Let's make sure we notate that. Bullish, bearish, bullish. And you guys can notice that pretty much all USD pairs are buying right now. You know, we might see a turnaround this week, which I'm expecting some big moves, but right now we're looking for buys. We don't want to trade against the trend. So right now we can kind of mark up, you know, what we see. And so when you look at this, let's just mark it up. Right now, this is our 15-minute. We can just look at this from a 15-minute perspective. M15, that's our higher low for our 15-minute. Okay, this was the previous one right here. Top. This is our previous one right here. This is a higher high, higher low, and this actually closed higher than this point here. I'm not necessarily putting it there yet because I like to look for the wicks. You know, I need a wick. This don't have any wick. This is a full Marabozal candle here, so we don't have any wicks. But in essence, this still is a higher high, we can say it, but I still believe it's going to get a little higher than that. So this is our structure that we're looking at, you guys. So right now, one of the things that I would like to see is this push up slightly a little bit and then come back into this zone, possibly show us a break of structure and shoot up to the top side. I think price will possibly get up to 2,000 or higher. And so let's look at that. Let's see if there's anything that we can see price possibly tapping off of. We can see over in this area, price tapped this 2,000 and it just straight melted off to the downside. We do have a huge order block pattern here on the daily. However, let's look at the 8 hour for a second, just to see if we see anything. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of bar replaying as well. So check this out, you guys. We have a 8 hour supply right here. I don't know if price, I think price tapped into this. Let's see. I think price might have tapped into this already. It did. Okay, price tapped into that 8-hour supply. But look at this. We have an 8-hour imbalance right here. Clear as day. Massively huge. And we're gonna pull that all the way over because that has not been mitigated. Okay. Now let's see what we got. Let's go to our 4-hour. Stop over at our 4-hour and see what we got. 4-hour, we got an imbalance a little higher. We also got a 4-hour supply right here that has not been mitigated. So I want to see price come up to this area. This is what I'm waiting on. So right now, I'm still looking for buys. I'm not looking for any sales to capitalize off of. This is a H4 supply. Okay. And so those are some of the things I'm looking for. And I'm also going to put an alert on the 2000 mark. I want to put an alert right up here just in case price breaks it. Let me see, gold breaks 2000. Okay. All right, that's what we're looking for. Gold to break 2000 and possibly go up to the other confluences. When it break that, I'll start adding other alerts. But in the meantime, let's look at the 5-minute. Yep, everything trails back to this. So I'll put an alert here too, just in case it breaks. Gold 15-minute BOS. Just in case. See what's gonna happen. Okay. So if it break that, then we know what's up. But I also want to put an alert here for price to tap into our bullish, bearish, bullish. Gold taps into, is that a 1-hour OB? We'll just say that. Put that in an alert as well. Okay. All right. So that's what we see on gold, you guys. So with gold, like I said, if we stop to the 1-hour, we're ultimately looking for buys with gold. And like I said, I know gold is extremely high right now. It's approaching 2000, but I'm looking for it to break that. So right now, like I said, we got this bullish, bearish, bullish pattern. I want to see it tap into this this demand zone here and continue to the top side. Ultimately, I want to see price. Let me go to the 4-hour. I'll pull that over a little too far. Pull this over right here. Ultimately, I'm looking for price to get up to either this 8-hour imbalance or this 4-hour supply before it continues down. Okay. So let's be mindful of that. You know, you ultimately don't want to really look for any sales unless you get a break of structure on this 15 and a retest, and then you can start looking for sales, because for our hourly higher low, we have some room to go down here. So you can definitely catch a lot of pips on a counter trend trade for the retracement. However, I wouldn't even risk that until it breaks this area here. So right now we're just looking for buys. Okay. So now let's go ahead and look at another pair. Let's look at NZD Chef. And this is another pair that I'm starting to really like, because it has some really good moves and things like that. Hey, you guys, also, if there's any pairs that you'd like to see marked up, please put them in the chat and I'll get to them. But we've been kind of blazing through these pairs that we've been on so far. So right now with NZD Chef, this here is the second pair that actually pays the most as far as a pair. So the most expensive pair is Euro Pound, and then on this one is NZD Chef. So this one pays $1.11. If you did a 0.1, which is $1 per pip, you'll get $1.11 per pip. Euro Pound, you get $1.20. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So we can see on the daily time frame we are bearish. Lower low, lower high, lower low. We're creeping up on this 4-hour supply. Ultimately, I want to see price kind of get a little bit lower. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Ultimately, sales. But I can see here that price wants to possibly get up here because we ended the daily with the bullish continuation pattern. Okay, so one of the things we can do, like I said, this is my favorite pattern to trade, especially when you have it on a bigger time frame. So what we can do is we can notate this as our daily demand, and I'll just say bullish, bearish, bullish. Okay, let's drop it down to the 4-hour, and on the 4-hour as well we can see some of the same things. 4-hour we have a bullish, bearish, bullish. I think I had notated that as well. Yep, bullish, bearish, bullish on the 4-hour. These are some of the things I was marking up possibly last week. And so if we drop to the 1-hour, let's see if we have that as well. We have a 1-hour bullish, bearish, bullish as well. It's just constantly just feeding us continuation patterns. But ultimately, I want to see it come back to this area. So we're going to set an alert right here. NZD Chef approaching POI. That's all. Yeah, we just keep it simple. You know, we'll kiss that thing. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what we're going to do. Bam, bam. That way everybody can get the alert in the Discord, and there we go. And so, you know, that's pretty much what we want to see. And so also, I want to put an alert as soon as price breaks this high here, because that'll let me know that price is approaching that 4-hour POI that I want to see. And so I think I need to change the name of this one though. I'll call this one, yeah, this one will be our POI here, but down here I'll say it's approaching our order block, approaching OB. That way we can kind of distinguish between the two. Francisco, hey, what's going on? Hey, you from Angola? Hey, welcome, welcome. You want me to mark up AU? No problem. I got you. I got you right after this pair. So we pretty much done with this one here, NZD Chef. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for this. I want to ultimately see price tap into this and then come up to this area here, show us some rejection, break of structure, retest, and then go to the downside. That's ultimately what I want to see happen on NZD Chef, you guys. All right. So let's go ahead and look at AU. Let's tap into it. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start this from the daily. We're gonna top down analysis this thing, and we're gonna mark it up and see what we can see. All right. So right now, look like I got some previous markups on here, and we can see that the daily was bearish. You know, we can see the staircase on this particular pair. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We can see it just pretty much just staircasing on down. All right. So let's go ahead and drop to the 4-hour and see what we have. All right, we pretty much just following the same patterns that we see. All right, we can see that we have a lower low here, and this is our lower high point right up in this area right here. All right, so these are this is the leg of structure that we're actually working with. And what we can do with this, you guys, we can kind of trade within this leg of structure. So we can say this is our H4 lower high, and we can say this is protected, meaning that if price breaks this area, then we know we got a change in character and price is possibly going to turn around. Okay, that's how we can look at that. This here is our lower low, H4 lower low, and we can say this is weak. We're already looking for price to break that. Okay, that's how we can look at that. All right, so we can play within this leg of structure. So now let's drop it to the 1-hour to kind of see exactly what price was doing. So right now we can see price drop down, on a 1 hour perspective, gave us a lower low, lower high, another lower low, and then we broke structure. All right, let's look at it. So we broke structure right here. This was a 1 hour break of structure right here. Okay, and so a lot of this here, this is liquidity. This here was liquidity. I don't necessarily look at those as structure breaks. This is our structure break here. Okay, so let's see in this area. I don't really think this was our 50% pullback in this area. Let's just see if we measured it here. It actually was. You can see we dipped off 50% into this area, and basically what it did is it came in and it tapped into this level of demand right here. Okay, so we can just look at this and say it's mitigated. That demand zone was mitigated. All right, but one of the things that we can see is we still had some unmitigated zone right up in this area here. Okay, and we can see price came down, tapped into this area before it kind of shot off. All right, so right now we're bullish. Okay, because we can see this, it took out this high here, and it also took out this high here. Okay, so now let's look at what we're looking at in current pricing. All right, go to the 15 minute. So on a 15-minute time frame, we can kind of mark up our structure as such. Higher high, higher low, higher high. This is a possible higher low. However, we haven't broken this high yet, so it's not confirmed. So let's go ahead and mark up our structure, and we can see exactly what we can play with from there. Let's see, higher high. Like I said, this one here. Let's make sure higher high, higher low, higher high. Yeah, that's right. This one here. We'll mark up our other ones as well. Here and here. Those are our last four that we're working with. All right. So anything in this area here, in this leg of structure, we're looking at bullish. Okay. So let's drop to the 5 minute. Well, before we look at that, let's look at our pullback so far. So we take our fibs from here to the top side here. We can see that we've already dipped into our golden zone in this area here. Okay, we've already dipped into our golden zone, so we've already well within our premium zone for buys to continue. Okay, so one of the things that we noticed is we did have this 15-minute demand that we would like to see price tap into, but let's drop to a smaller time frame and see if we can see anything else. If we drop to the 5 minute. Okay, we still don't see anything with it tapped into here. 4 minute, 3 minute. Nothing really. 2 minute. Let's see. So I want to put a line here because this is where price kind of stopped, right in this area here. Because I'm curious to see what price tapped off of. Let's do a bar replay right here because I want to make sure that we're understanding what price is doing. So it really didn't really tap into anything down here. I mean, we got, you know, demands up here, things like that, but it didn't really tap into nothing. So, all right, and that's fine. So I mean, price possibly can go a little lower. That's what I want to see. However, when you look at this though, on a 5 minute, we had a break of structure. On a 5 minute, you can see, you know, a lot of this small movement here and all of this stuff. Well, no, we're not going to play with the noise. We can see we had this move here, and then we had a break of structure on the 5 minute right here. We had a break of structure on the 5 minute right there. However, I'm still a little skeptical about this because I want to see it come down a little bit further. You know, this could definitely be a fake out move, and I want to see it come down a little bit further before I actually confirm anything for the buy. Now, however, if price comes back down to this area here, this is how you can confirm the move. If price comes down to this 5-minute demand here, and it gives us a break of structure move, if you come down here, give us a break of structure, retest, then oh yeah, I'm hopping in that. I would definitely hop in that, because on this here, this will be a break of, we don't want that, because this will be a break of structure on the 1 minute, and I would look for this on the 1 minute if we caught it. Break of structure on the 1 minute, and then you want to look for some demand zone or something within this area, and you can possibly take an entry here, stop loss under this area, and you can literally ride this up to these highs here. You can get like a 1 to 7, anything like that, but we want to wait for price to tap into this area before we look for the buys to go up to the upside. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set our alerts in this area here, and I'll make sure this goes to our chat as well, so we can say AUD approaching, AUD USD approaching POI. That way we can see if it comes to that area, then I'll be more inclined to possibly take something. Well, not necessarily take it, but look to see what price is going to do. But then we also want to put another alert lower than this area here, because like I said, it's something in me that still think price will break this area. AUD breaks POI. Yeah, it's something in me that still think price wants to break this and possibly come down to this 15-minute area here. And so if we can get that, for me, that'll be a better move to actually ride price up. Because the reason why I said it is because this move here, this demand level here, it broke this high here. Okay, this in this area here, there's nothing that this broke. There's nothing here really. You know, price kind of tapped off of this, maybe took out some liquidity in this area on a smaller time frame, but there's nothing here. We still have this huge imbalance with unhealthy price action that needs to be fulfilled. So because this demand zone took out this high here, I'll be looking for this more so for a confluence for me to actually take it. Okay, so Francisco, that's what I have on AU. We have our alert set, and if you're in our Discord chat, then you'll see these alerts come to our Discord. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Ultimately, I'm still looking for buys, but for one second, I want to look at the 8-hour for a second. I want to see something. Okay, yeah, I think it's gonna come down a little lower, you guys. Even though we see this as a bullish, bearish, bullish, we can see that this candle closed lower than the middle candle. So yeah, it's looking to go a little lower. So this here, is pretty much retesting into this area here, because we had this massive break that broke this short-term low, this short-term high. However, it didn't break this one here. It wicked above it, but like I said, this bullish, bearish, bullish pattern, it didn't close high. So we're looking for a retest to come back. That's what I want to see for this particular pair. Okay, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I want to see price tap into this and then continue to the upside. Okay. All right, hey Francisco, I hope that helps, man. All right, you guys, let's check out Nas 100. You not in the Discord? What can I do to join the Discord? If you go to our YouTube, if you go to our YouTube channel and you click on any one of our videos, for example, the last video or whatever, pause it. If you go to the description, you'll see the link there. You can just click on that link and it'll take you right to our Discord. Okay. So in every single video that we post, we put all of our social media handles within there, and you can get to it from there. Okay. And let me, you know what? Let me see if I can actually post it in the deal right quick. I don't know if they'll let me, but I'll see. Yeah, there you go. I got a link right there. All right, you guys. Let's check out Nas 100. All right, you guys. As you guys can see, I have these vertical lines on here, and so basically, I was back testing last week with Nas. And so what I like to do is back test, weeks at a time. So this is a week, things like that. So I was actually back testing this pair. Actually, you know what? Let's look at US 30. Let's check out US 30 instead of Nas. I know a lot of people trade US 30 way more than they do Nas. And so we'll come back to it. All right. So one of the things on US 30, I started trading this one recently as well. And the moves on here are actually starting to be really, really smooth. And so with US 30, as we can see, we had a daily break of structure on this pair, and it tapped into our daily premium zone, okay, right off the 50. And so one of the things that we can see on a 1 hour time frame, we can see price is pretty much, bearish. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Price gave us a liquidity break here, and it kind of, came down to this area. If we drop to the 15 minute, we can see that price, is approaching this 15 minute, demand here. Because if we look at this on a 15 minute, time frame, we had a break of structure on a 15 minute. Price came back, kind of tapped into this area here. And so now we're just looking for another retest and possibly shoot to the upside. We got to be careful with US 30 though, because US 30, it has, it's expensive. You got to actually have a certain amount of capital to actually trade it. So for me, I really want to see that hourly break before I decide to hop in anything US 30 wise. And so that's pretty much what I'm looking for US 30. I don't want to, hop in this, prematurely and get blasted out the wazoo, because this thing can continue to go down and possibly go a little further into this premium zone. So for me, I'm gonna set an alert right in this area here for US 30 to break this. US 30, 1 hour BOS. Okay. And then also for US 30, I'll put an alert here as well, because if it breaks this low, then I know the trend is continuing downward, and we can possibly follow the trend. US 30 breaks lower low. We'll capitalize, whatever direction that we can see. All right. And that's how we'll do it. That's pretty much what we have for our pairs and things like that. Like I said, I'm expecting some really, really big moves this week, you guys. Really big moves. And so, you know what? One thing I noticed with this is price will probably continue to go down, because on a daily we have a bearish, bullish, bearish. And if you guys look closely, this candle closed lower than this one here. So one of the things that we might see, let's go ahead and use our GAN box for this and kind of measure 50%. We might see price tap 50% within this candle here, and then continue to the downside. That's one of the things I wanted to look at before I got off of this pair. So we possibly will see that move here and continue to the downside, continue with the trend. Just look at the 8 hour. 4 hour. Look at that. 3 hour as well. Bullish, bearish, bullish right here. That's another confluence right there. That's even more for me to look for this to go downward. So it actually might not get up to this 50% right away. However, this right here, I'm gonna say this is a supply. I'm gonna notate this. H3, bearish, bullish, bearish. Okay. So let's look on a smaller time frame right quick. 1 hour. So 1 hour is already kind of tapped into this area. Let me see something. All right. So if price breaks this little area here, if price breaks this little area here, then that might be the indication for it to continue downward. So what we can possibly wait for is a break, retest, and then continue our structure downward. You know, possibly. But like I said, I always want to be patient on this type of thing. The reason why I want to kind of be patient with this is because we have this demand here, and I wanted to break that. You know what? I'm not going to even put this alert here. I just wanted to break that first. If it break that, then that'll give me more of a confluence that price wants to continue down. I want to see that break. Yeah. Actually, I'll move this up. Yeah. That's what I want to see. All right, you guys. So, hey, I don't see any other pairs in the chat, and I just basically, hey, I appreciate you guys joining today for our weekly analysis. I'll make sure that I shoot, you know, comments in the Discord. If you guys have any questions that you have, always feel free to reach out to me in the chat. I'll be happy to talk to you guys, answer any questions that you might have. And so from there, as always, you know what we do. We we pretty much strategize and try to capitalize on anything that we see, and from there we try to make it happen. All right. And so you guys, hey, I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next video, the next live, and hopefully you guys have a great week in the market. All right, we out.